And welcome in, Matsu Miners fans, to Game 2 of this doubleheader between the Miners and the Anchorage Glacier Pilots, as the Valley's finest have already jumped out to a 1-0 lead here in the top of inning number 1. As an Eric Webb leadoff single followed by a Justin Kirby double to the right field corner have given Tyler LeBrun's Miners a 1-0 lead. Kirby on second, nobody down. Braxton Cottengame on the mound here in game number 2 of the doubleheader for the Pilots. He's facing Aaron Walters as the 3-2 pitch to Walters misses just a bit outside off the corner for ball 4. So Walters trots on down to first. The Miners threatening to break things open here in the top frame. They're up 1-0 here, and now the catcher going to go have a word with the left-hander Braxton Cottengame. Zach Morgan behind the plate for the Glacier Pilots in this one. Starting lineup here in game 2 for the Miners. Eric Webb is batting leadoff. He's in center. Justin Kirby hitting second. He's in left. Aaron Walters bats third. He's in right. Tanner Carlson, the cleanup man, he's at third. Drew Williamson bats fifth. He's at first. Cody Huff bats sixth. He's the catcher as the first pitch to Tanner Carlson misses upstairs. Batting seventh, the shortstop Ricky Martinez. Eighth, the DH Matt Palmer. And batting ninth, the second baseman Tyler Porter. Braxton Cottengame on the mound for the Anchorage Glacier Pilots. So far on the season, this will be his third appearance in 9 innings of work. ERA 2. He's 1-0. As the 1-0 pitch to Tanner Carlson misses in the dirt for ball 2. So 2-0 now the count to Carlson. Miners have 2 men on and nobody down. They have scored first now for the 6th consecutive game. In case you are just tuning in, a reminder, the Miners did lose game 1 of this doubleheader to the Pilots 5-2. As they are looking to get their lead in the ABL back to 2.5 here over the Pilots, as Carlson flies one out to shallow right field. Retreating is the second baseman, Malcolm Tipler, and he makes the catch for the first out of the inning, and that ball not hit deep enough for the runners to advance. Defensive alignment for Jeff Pritchard's Pilots in game number 2. Behind the plate is Zach Morgan. Bradley Knighting is at first. Malcolm Tipler is at second. Matt Otino is at short, and George Mendozano is at third. E.J. Andrews is in left. Dalen Clifton's in center, and Garrett Spain's in right. Drew Williamson is coming up to the plate, the 5th hitting first baseman for the Miners. Lefty on lefty matchup here as the first pitch to him is a breaking ball that misses off the outside corner for ball 1. Williamson, 3 for 11 against the Pilots this year coming into this doubleheader. 5 runs, 5 RBIs, and 4 doubles for the Bruton, Alabama native as the 6'5 first baseman digs back in. Runners at first and second, and 1 out as the 1-0 pitch misses low for ball 2. Already 1 run on 2 hits in this game for the Miners. They did not score first in the first inning of the game 1 of the doubleheader, but they put up a 5 spot last night in the bottom of the first against the Oilers. Cottengame from the stretch, the 2-0 on its way, a fastball that misses away for ball 3. So hitters count now 3-0 for Williamson as he's looking to add to his RBI total. Waiting in the on-deck circle is catcher Cody Huff. As Williamson digs back into the box as a plane flies over Mulcahy Stadium here. Temperature around 62 degrees at first pitch as a 3-0 is right down the pipe. Still a hitter's count, though, for Williamson, 3-1, as he'll be sitting dead red here looking for a good pitch to hit, a fastball. Aaron Walters gets his lead from first. Justin Kirby standing about 4 steps off of second base. Here comes the 3-1 offering, and Williamson tried to hit that one all the way back to Palmer, but came up empty. So 3-2 the count now. 2 men on, 1 man out. Glacier Pilots down 1-0 here early. Braxton Cottengame looking to work his way out of trouble. Cottengame so far on this 2019 season, 11 strikeouts to just 5 walks. It's his 3rd appearance of the year and his 3rd start as Williamson fouls one off to the left side. He was behind a bit there on the fastball as that one will get out of play. Remember, folks, a foul ball can do some serious damage to your car. You can always visit the folks at the Valley's locally owned and operated Napa Auto Parts. They're in Big Lake, Palmer, and Wasilla. Visit www.napaalaska.com for more information. Cotton Game working from the middle of the rubber, goes into the 3-2 pitch. It's a breaking ball that misses upstairs for ball 4. So Drew Williamson draws a free pass, and the bases are juiced here with one man down, and Cody Huff coming to the dish for the Miners. Cody Huff, 2 RBIs on the season. Still hitless this year against the Pilots. Looking to change that. Bases are loaded. Just one man down. Miners already hold a 1-0 lead over the Anchorage Glacier Pilots. As we thank you for joining us, we apologize again for the technical difficulties that were taking place during Game 1, as we've been having some troubles here at Mulcahy Stadium a few times this year, as the first pitch to Huff is a fastball about knee level. Good locating there by the left-hander Braxton Cottengame by way of the University of Kentucky. Miners going with their green and yellow uniforms, similar to the Oakland Athletics, and the Pilots, their white uniforms with blue lettering and numbering, similar to the Los Angeles Dodgers. 0-1 pitch to Huff on his way is grounded over to third. Up with it is the third baseman Mendozano to second for one, back to first. It's a double play ball, a twin killing to end the first, 5-4-3, and the side is retired. But the Miners do strike first off an RBI double from Justin Kirby. Glacier Pilots coming to bat in the bottom half of inning number 1. It's a 1-0 Miners lead. Mulcahy Stadium, bottom of the first coming up as the Miners take a 1-0 lead over the Anchorage Glacier Pilots in the top frame. As we look at the starting lineup for Jeff Pritchard's Pilots as they enter this ball game 7-6. Leading things off is the second baseman Malcolm Tipler. Matt Ortino bats second. He's at short. George Mendozano bats third and plays third. Zach Morgan is the cleanup man, and he'll be behind the plate doing the catching. Bradley Knighting bats fifth. He's at first. Zach Segal is in the sixth spot, and he'll be DHing. Garrett Spain bats seventh. He's in right. E.J. Andrews is the 8-hitter. He's in left. And rounding out the order, Dalen Clifton, he is in center. On the mound for the Miners in game number 2 by way of Washington State University in Chehalis, Washington, 6'8", 200-pound right-hander Brandon White. White making appearance number 3 on the year, 1-0 with a 0.90 ERA. As the first pitch to Tipler, he squares bunt and pulls it back, but it's a called strike anyway, so the count now 0-1. Opponents hitting 188 against White. He's had 10 innings of work on the year as he gets this sign from Cody Huff. The 0-1 pitch is a fastball that misses in the dirt for ball 1. 6 hits allowed on the year for White, 1 run, it was earned, 6 strikeouts, and 4 walks for the former 14th round draft pick by the Los Angeles Dodgers. White working from the windup. The 2-0 on its way is fouled to the left side, and that one will go out of play. So it looks like the first pitch missed. So 2-1 now the count, nobody down. Or there's some scoreboard issues. It looked like the first pitch of the at-bat was a called strike, and now the scoreboard having some issues. So White goes into his windup. The pitch is fouled off to the left side, and that one once again is going to get out of play. So the count even now apparently at 2-2 for Malcolm Tipler, who comes into this game riding a 7-game hit streak, a .240 hitter on the year as the 2-2 pitch misses in the dirt. So Brandon White back on the mound looking to recollect here. 2-8 this past year for Washington State. Just finished his freshman year with the Cougars, a 6.52 ERA and 58 innings of work. From the left side of the rubber, the 2-2 on its way, misses low and away, so a full count now, 3-2 to Malcolm Tipler, a native of Jackson, Tennessee. Just finished his junior year with the Austin Peay Governors. 3-2 on the way is lined hard to center field, and this is going to be trouble. This one takes a couple of bounces and will go off the center field wall. Tipler rounding second. He's heading for third, and he'll be in there standing with a leadoff triple in the bottom half of the first. That was a frozen rope to right center field, and Webb had to go a pretty long way to track that one down as he's finally able to corral it, but not before Malcolm Tipler picks up his first triple of the year and his second extra base hit. So a runner on third here with nobody down. And now the first pitch to the number 2 hitting Matt Otino misses on the outside corner for ball 1. And the 1-0 pitch is grounded over to first. Tipler is going to score as Drew Williamson flips it over to the pitcher, Brandon White, for out number 1. But in the meantime, a run does come across, so the Pilots tie things up here 1-1 in the bottom half of inning number 1 off the strength of an RBI ground out, from Matt Otino. And now George Mendozano digs in. He had 2 hits in the last game for the Pilots, looking to add on here, a member of the Oregon State Beavers this past season. Mendozano steps in from the left-handed batter's box. White goes back on the mound, looking to limit the damage to just 1 here as the first pitch to Mendozano is fouled off the catcher for strike 1. Pac-12 matchup here as the Oregon State Beaver Mendozano takes a couple of practice hacks and digs back in. Brandon White back on the mound working quickly. Here's the 0-1 pitch is waved at and missed for strike 2. Mendozano came up empty there on a big uphill swing, so 0-2 is now our count. Tie ball game here, bottom of the first as the 0-2 waved at and missed. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. A 3-pitch strikeout for Brandon White here for out number 2, and that's going to bring up the 4th hitter, Zach Morgan. Morgan, the team leader for the Pilots in average home runs and RBIs, comes in a .314 hitter. 6 RBIs in his last 4 games. He's been hot, hitting from the right side here against the right-handed Brandon White. As White steps back out onto the mound, looking to work quickly here and get himself out of this first inning. The first pitch to Morgan is grounded over to second. A sliding stop by Tyler Porter. The throw to first gets away from Drew Williamson on a 1-hopper, and Morgan's going to be able to advance to second on the play. So an error there from Tyler Porter. A nice sliding stop deep in the hole at second base, but rushed the throw just a little bit as he one-hopped it to first. Williamson wasn't able to pick it as it gets by the Bruton, Alabama first baseman and over towards the Pilots dugout. And that allows Zach Morgan to reach second base, so that run will be unearned if it comes across as the number 5 hitting first baseman Bradley Knighting digs in. Knighting, a .139 hitter on the year, just 1 for 11 against the Miners. He got the first game off, but back in the lineup here at game number 2 as he waves and misses on a first pitch fastball at the knees, strike 1. Knighting 4 runs, 2 RBIs, and a double on the season, 7 walks, and he's 2 for 2 in stolen bases. Zach Morgan standing on second. He has yet to swipe a bag for the Pilots. White working now from the stretch. The 0-1 on its way is poked foul to the left side, and that one will get out of play towards the parking lot out in left field. So Brandon White back out onto the hill, still working from the stretch here. Looking to limit the Pilots to just one here in this bottom half of the first. Tie game, one apiece, the 0-2 as White steps off the mound to keep Morgan honest over at second. Pilots come into this game fifth in the ABL in average, on-base percentage, slugging percentage, runs per game, and hits per game. But they put up 10 hits in the Game 1 contest against the Miners as they look to keep the offensive attack rolling here in Game 2. White ready, the 0-2 on its way is popped up, and this one will sail past the press box and go behind us foul. So another 0-2 pitch coming from Brandon White. White in his last time out versus the Anchorage Bucks back on June 16th here at Mulcahy Stadium went 5 innings, gave up no runs, allowed just 2 hits, 3 free passes, and 3 strikeouts. He was the winning pitcher in that one, picking up his first W as a minor. He steps back out onto the rubber, towing the slab. Morgan gets a good lead from second. The 0-2 to Knighting just misses there. A little bit above the letters, says home plate umpire Scott Johnston. So 1-2 now the count. Runner on second, 2 outs. And a tie ball game here, 1-1. White comes set, ready at the letters. Gives Morgan a look over at second now. The 1-2 pitch is in the dirt and bounces away from Cody Huff. And Zach Morgan slides into third. He advances 90 feet on a ball in the dirt. So now anything can happen here. As we saw in the last game, the Pilots scored 2 runs off of wild pitches. As this team is very aggressive on the base pass, they're 21 for 26 on the year. Jeff Pritchard very aggressive in moving his runners around the base pass as the 2-2 on its way from White, a fastball that misses away. So the counts run full, 3-2 with a runner on third now, 2 men out. As the Pilots looking to capitalize on a Tyler Porter error here and take the lead. White ready from the stretch. The full count delivery is on its way, and it's popped foul to the left side again. So Knighting making Brandon White work here. The 9th pitch of the at-bat coming up. Knighting, only 2 RBIs of the year, came on June 15th against the Anchorage Bucks. Struggling thus far here on this ABL season, just a 139 hitter. He is coming off his first multi-hit game of the year last night against the Bucks. Brandon White ready as the 6'8 righty is set to go. He deals 3-2 and again fouled off by Knighting here. So a double-digit pitch at bat for Brandon White here as he tries to finally set down Knighting. Knighting, a Rice Owl this past year, a .295 hitter, 34 RBIs, 3-2 on its way, waved at and missed. So Brandon White wins the battle there as he finally sets down Knighting and the side is retired. But the Pilots get the 1 run right back that the Miners got in the top of the first. So after 1 inning, we are tied at 1 apiece. Miners coming to bat top of the second when we come back. Martinez leads things off here for the Miners in the top half of the second. Brandon Monty alongside Nick Beelan. Happy as always to be bringing you Matsu Miners baseball. Again, we apologize for the technical difficulties that have been taking place throughout these two ball games as Martinez now down 1-2 in the count to Braxton Cottengame in his second inning of work. Starter Matthew Sanchez went just 1 2/3 of an inning in the game one outing as the 1-2 to Martinez is poked foul to the right side, and that one will get out of play and be a souvenir. Remember, folks, a foul ball can do some serious damage to your car. You can always visit the folks at the Valley's locally owned and operated Napa Auto Parts. They're in Big Lake, Palmer, and Wasilla. Visit www.napalaska.com for more details as Martinez lifts one out to center field. Underneath it is Dalen Clifton. He makes the catch for the first out of the inning, so Martinez is set down, and that'll bring up the number 8 hitter, Matt Palmer. Palmer, the designated hitter, he had an RBI single in game one of this series. Now 2 RBIs on the year for the hometown boy from Palmer, Alaska. Formerly an outfielder, just finished his senior year at Waldorf University. The only senior on this Miners roster as the first pitch to Matt Palmer, a breaking ball that drops in on the low and inside part of the plate for a called strike. Good locating there by Braxton Cottengame. As he steps back out onto the rubber, working from the left side of it, goes into his motion, and the 0-1 pitch, a fastball at the knees. So Palmer quickly down in the count now 0-2 with Tyler Porter waiting in the on-deck circle. Anchorage Glacier Pilots 7-6, now a game and a half out of the Matsu Miners, who are 10-6 for first place in the ABL as Palmer fouls a breaking ball off. As he's just able to fight it off. It went off his foot there, but Palmer, a tough kid, able to walk it off as he takes a few steps out of the box. 0-2 now the count. 1-1 ball game here, top of the second inning, with the Pilots and Miners tied. 1 run, 2 hits, and 1 error for the Miners. 1 run, 1 hit, and no errors for the Pilots as the 0-2 is fouled off the catcher, Zach Morgan. So we'll do it again, 0-2 in the count. 1 down here for the Miners in their half of the second. Braxton Cottengame steps back out onto the mound as the 6'3", 215-pound left-hander from Hazard, Kentucky goes into his motion. The 0-2 pitch is once again fouled off to the right side, and this one is going to drift off into the seats and be a souvenir for a Glacier Pilot fan over near the first base dugout. Miners now 9-3 on the year when they score first, and 4-3 now away from Herman Brothers Field. They took 4 out of 6 in a 6-game road trip last weekend. The reason a doubleheader being played tonight due to some mound issues last week as Palmer lines one back up the middle. A base hit for Matt Palmer here gives the Miners a base runner in the top half of the second. And now Tyler Porter coming to the dish, the number 9 hitting second baseman. Digging back into the box, getting his second straight start over at second base. He was at third base in the first game, second straight game in the lineup as it'll be a lefty-on-lefty matchup here. Cottengame now working from the stretch, leans in and gets his sign from catcher Zach Morgan. The first pitch to Porter is a fastball that paints the outside corner for a called strike 1. Still broad daylight out here as we just hit 11 o'clock Alaska Standard Time. For all of those who stayed up and continue to watch tonight, we thank you and again apologize for all technical difficulties that have been taking place as the 0-1 to Tyler Porter is a fastball that misses off the outside corner for a ball. 1-1. One's on the board. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out in a 1-1 game. Matt Palmer gets about a 3-step lead off first as the 1-1 pitch is in there, but nope. I hear a balk scream from one of the umpires, so Matt Palmer trots on down to second as Braxton Cottengame balks Palmer into scoring position with 1 down. So Matt Palmer now standing on second. No runs scored yet for him, but Tyler Porter looking to change that. The Miners are 3-0 on the year when Porter drives in a run. Cottengame is ready from the stretch, taking his time as he checks Palmer, and now Tyler Porter calls time here. Good move there as Cottengame taking his time with his delivery as he steps off. Porter takes a quick look out of the batter's box and gets his sign from first base coach Jeff Erlab. Cotton game ready, and the 1-1 pitch on its way is a breaking ball that misses off the outside corner for a ball, 2-1. Temperature cooling off a bit now as we just hit the 11 o'clock mark here in the capital city of the 49th state of the U.S., Anchorage, Alaska. Temperature now at about 60 degrees. The wind has died down. Looks like no gusts as there were out to left field in the first game as the 2-1 pitch, a fastball that paints the outside corner as Porter watches it go by for a called strike two. Eric Webb waiting in the on-deck circle. He led the game off with a single, as the Miners will be back to the top of the order after this at-bat. 2-2 pitch is coming up from Braxton Cottengame as he is ready from the belt. Here it comes, a breaking ball that just misses the outside corner, and these Anchorage Glacier Pilot fans were not happy with that call from home plate umpire Scott Johnston. But nonetheless, the count has run full, 3-2. One out here, one man on. Tyler Porter digging back in, a 200 hitter coming in. Lefty on lefty matchup. Cottengame ready, the 3-2 on its way. A fastball that misses just outside again for ball four. So good plate discipline there by the Tucson, Arizona native Tyler Porter, as he has now drawn his fifth walk of the year. There are two men on base with one out, and Eric Webb coming to the dish. Eric Webb, 15 RBIs now on the season for the Mat-Su Miners. He singled his first time aboard and looking to add to the damage here for the Miners in the top of the second as they look to break the tie and get the lead back. Justin Kirby waiting in the on-deck circle. Cottengame's first pitch to Webb misses upstairs for a ball. 1-0 now the count. Cottengame, 5 hits allowed coming into this one. 2 runs, both of them earned. 5 walks, 11 strikeouts, 1-0 on the season. Coming into this game, he had allowed just 1 extra base hit on the year. As Cottengame comes set, he's ready at the belt from the stretch. The 1-0 pitch on its way is a breaking ball that drops in on the lower part of the inside corner for a called strike one. So one's across the board again. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Game still tied at 1 apiece. 2 men on for the Mat-Su Miners here. They're standing on first and second as Porter gets his lead from first. Palmer from second. The 1-1 on its way to Webb. A fastball that paints the outside corner for a called strike two. And Webb having a little chat with the home plate umpire after that one. A good frame job there by the catcher, Zach Morgan, to make it 1-2. Eric Webb digging back into the box, a .385 hitter. Hit 75 RBIs this past year for Division II Central Missouri as the 1-2 pitch rings him up for strike 3, a fastball on the inside corner. So Webb is set down for the second out of the inning, and Justin Kirby is coming back up. Justin Kirby, the reigning Mid-American Conference Freshman of the Year, also an All-American for the Kent State Golden Flashes. A .313 hitter, a native of Alpharetta, Georgia. In his freshman season for the Flashes, hit 9 home runs, 30 RBIs, 42 runs scored, 14 doubles. Kirby digs back in, lefty on righty matchup here as the first pitch to him is a breaking ball that lofts in on the inside corner for a called strike one. Another pretty good crowd here for Game 2. Was a little bit bigger for Game 1. There are fireworks after tonight's game as well as we welcome you in if you're just tuning into this Midnight Sun broadcast of Mat-Su Miners baseball. The 0-1 pitch is grounded over to short by Kirby. Aquino flips to Tipler at second for the force out, 6-4, and the side is retired. Miners leave one stranded in the top of the second. Despite getting 2 hits, we go to the bottom of inning number 2. Mat-Su Miners and Anchorage Glacier Pilots are tied at 1. Welcome back, Matsu Miners fans. Bottom of the second at Mulcahy Stadium in Anchorage, Alaska. As it's game number 17 of the 43rd season of Matsu Miners baseball, the 1-1 tie, and first pitch is grounded over to second. Up with it is Porter, throws over to third for out number one. So Zach Segal, the designated hitter, in his first at-bat is set down on one pitch. Mark that one 4-3 if you're keeping score at home, as there's one down now in the Pilots' half of the second, and the seventh inning right fielder Garrett Spain is coming up to the plate. E.J. Andrews waiting in the on-deck circle. Dalen Clifton will be behind him. Third baseman Tanner Carlson playing even with the bag at third, as the first pitch from Brandon White to Spain misses upstairs for a ball. 1-0 the count. Spain, a .233 hitter on the season. A season-high 3 RBIs against the Anchorage Bucks back on June 15th, as the 1-0 from White misses as well. 2-0 now the count. Spain has 2 multi-hit games on the year against the Miners. A native of Clarksville, Tennessee, as the 5'10 outfielder checks his swing, but the home plate umpire says he went around. So 2-1. Now our count, nobody on, 1 out, bottom of the second. Game still tied at 1 apiece. 1 run, 3 hits, 1 error for the Miners, as Spain drags a bunt down the third base line, but it just goes foul. A good idea there by Spain. Almost good execution, but it just trickled left of the third base foul line, so he's now even in the count, 2-2. Spain this past year, a solid year for the Austin Peay Governors. .333 hitter, 53 runs scored, 52 RBIs, 7 homers, 25 walks, and 6 stolen bases. He's a threat to swipe a bag. He's 3 for 3 so far this year with the Pilots. White shakes off one sign, shakes off another. Now he's got what he likes from the windup. 2-2 on its way, and that one, a fastball that misses just outside, so 3-2 now our count. Brandon White looking to put up a 0 here in the second, as the 3-2 is fouled straight back off the screen by Spain, and these Anchorage Glacier Pilot hitters are making White work here, as they fouled off several tough pitches out of play. 3-2 now the count. White ready, and another full count pitch on its way. Misses upstairs for ball 4 with the fastball. So Spain draws a free pass. 6th on the year for him, and the Pilots now have a runner at first base with 1 man out, and stepping in is the 8th hitting left fielder, E.J. Andrews. E.J. Andrews, a native of Long Beach, California, a Fresno State Bulldog this past year, where he hit .290 with 13 runs scored. White now working from the stretch, as the first pitch to Andrews, a fastball that paints the outside corner, strike one. Don't think Andrews agreed with that one, as he looks down at third base for a sign from assistant coach Cody Thompson. Andrews digging back into the right-handed batter's box. Righty on righty matchup. Middle infield in double play depth, as Tyler Porter playing close to the bag at second, as White throws over to first to keep Spain honest. As I mentioned, 3 for 3 on the season is the Clarksville, Tennessee native Garrett Spain at swiping bags, so got to keep an eye out for him, as does catcher Cody Huff. Spain gets about a 2.5-step lead off first, and now he goes as the pitch is blooped out to right field, and this one's going to drop over Drew Williams' head in no man's land for a hit, and that'll allow Spain to advance to third base on the hit and run. So good execution there by the Pilots on a little looper that just went over the head of first baseman Drew Williamson, and now there are runners at the corners with 1 man out. And the number 9 hitting center fielder, Dalen Clifton, is coming to the dish for Jeff Pritchard's Pilots. Pilots entered this game on a 2-game losing streak, but have looked much different tonight. Last time these two teams met, obviously Eric Webb hitting that game-winning grand slam back at Herman Brothers Field, erasing a 2-run deficit in the bottom of the 9th for the Miners, as they put up a 6th spot to get that victory back on Monday night. The first pitch to Dalen Clifton, a fastball, is in there on the outside corner for a called strike one. Clifton takes a quick step out of the box and gets his sign from the third base coach. White gives Andrews over a look at first. Andrews looking poised to go here. A three-step lead as the pitch is an 0-1 fastball. Clickton squared bunt, pulled it back, but it's a called strike anyway, so 0-2 now the count. Middle infield still in double play depth here, and that would be big for Brandon White as he looks to avoid putting up another crooked number here to start his fourth start of the year. White ready at the belt. The 0-2 pitch is a fastball that's fouled off to the right side, and that one's going to get out of play into the seats. Remember, folks, the foul ball can do some serious damage to your car. You can always visit the folks at the Valley's locally owned and operated Napa Auto Parts. They're in Big Lake, Palmer, and Wasilla. Visit www.napaalaska.com for more details. Another 0-2 pitch is on its way to Dalen Clickton, and it's fouled straight back off the backstop. So we'll do it again. 0-2. Clickton 10th in the ABL, entering tonight's doubleheader in batting average and 8th in runs scored. He scored in each of his last 3 games, a .297 hitter. 9 runs scored on this 2019 campaign. Clickton, a native of Hilo, Hawaii, by way of Hawaii University. The 0-2 on its way to him is hit in the air out towards right center field. Drifting over to his right is Palmer. He makes the catch, and that should be deep enough to score Garrett Spain, and it will do the job. So a sacrifice fly for Dalen Clickton, and the Pilots have now put up a run in each of their first 2 innings. They lead it 2-1 in the bottom of the second. Runner on first, 2 down, and coming to the dish, the leadoff man, Malcolm Tipler. Again, folks, we thank you for tuning in. For those who may just be tuning in, it's a 2-1 ball game in Game 2 of this doubleheader. The Miners dropped Game 1 of this set 5-2, ending a 7-game winning streak. But the Valley's finest still first place in the Alaska Baseball League. Brandon White gives E.J. Andrews a look over at first, now ready at the letters. The first pitch to Tipler, a fastball that misses just off the outside part of the plate for ball 1. There's a runner on first, 2 down now. Pilots lead 2-1. Pilots 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors. Miners 1 run, 3 hits, 1 error. The Miners 3-1 on the year against the Pilots as White throws over to first to keep Andrews in check. So 1-0 our count, 2 down. Runner at first base on what is a gorgeous night for baseball. Temperature now in the low 60s for this midnight sun game. As White throws back over to first, and E.J. Andrews is back in standing. So 1-0 now the count. Still, after White threw over to Andrews a couple of times just to keep him in check. Andrews 2 for 2 on the year in stolen bases. White gives him another look as the 6'8 right-hander comes set and deals the 1-0 to Malcolm Tipler. Andrews takes off the throw down to second base, is in time. A good throw by Cody Huff. It was right on the money. Martinez applied the tag for the out, and the side is retired. Glacier Pilots strike for 1 more in the bottom half of the second. They lead it 2-1. Miners coming to bat in the top of the third.
Aaron Walters to get things going here in the top of the third inning. First pitch to him is high for ball one. This is Nick Velam joined by Brandon Monty, as always, to bring you Matsu Minor Baseball. Sorry for the technical difficulties tonight, but we should get those fixed by the next game, as the 1-0 pitch misses for ball two. The 2-0 pitch to Walters hits the outside part of the plate for strike one, as the count goes to 2-1. The 2-1 pitch fouled out of play, and the count will go even at 2-2. Miners strike first in the first inning, but then the Pilots decide to get one in the bottom of the first and then another in the bottom of the second as the 2-2 pitch is fouled back, and the count will remain 2-2. The 2-2 pitch misses for ball three. The payoff pitch is fouled down the third base line, just foul, and the count will remain full at 3-2. The payoff pitch is fouled again, and the count will remain full. Beautiful night for baseball here at Mulcahy Stadium. Fans still out along in the stands as the payoff pitch hits the outside part of the plate. Umpire called strike three. Aaron Walters was halfway to first base, thinking it was ball four, but umpire behind the plate will ring him up, bringing up number 8, Tanner Carlson. Carlson out of Elk Grove, California, batting 225 as a minor, pops up the first pitch, popped up to right field. Garrett Spain is under it and makes the catch for out number 2. Bringing up to the plate, number 35, Drew Williamson. Williamson batting 234 out of Bruton, Alabama. The first offering to him is in there for a called strike one. No balls, 1 strike, 2 outs here in the top of the third inning. Miners have 1 run on 3 hits and 1 error. The Pilots have 2 runs on 2 hits and 0 errors, as the 0-1 pitch is in there for a called strike 2. Drew Williamson calls time, gets a breather, and will re-step into the left-handed batter's box. Coming into this 2-game set, he was 3 for 11 against Pilots. The 0-2 pitch is a called strike 3. So 3 up, 3 down for the Miners as we go to the bottom of the third inning. The Miners trail 2-1. And here we are in the bottom half of the third inning. Pilots leading the Miners 2-1. As number 8, Malcolm Tipler will step up as the leadoff hitter in this bottom half of the third inning. Top of the lineup for the Pilots as the 1, 2, and 3 hitters are due up in this inning. As the first pitch to him is fouled straight back into Huff's catcher's mask for a foul ball and strike one. White on the mound. The 0-1 pitch in there for a called strike two. White moves ahead in the count 0-2 with no outs here in the bottom half of the third inning. Ready at the belt, kicks and deals the 0-2. Line down the third base line, foul, and the count will remain 0-2. Appears to have broken his bat on that one, has to exchange it for a new one as he steps back into the batter's box, ready to play ball with a brand new set of wood. No balls, 2 strikes, no outs. Tipler ready to plate, White with the pitch. Popped him up on the infield. Carlson, Kirby, and Martinez all want it. Then Kirby will make the catch out in left field as Tipler's down for the first out. Bringing up Matt Otino to the plate. Matt Otino out of Fresno State steps in the batter's box, and the first pitch to him is in the dirt for ball 1, 1-0's the count. Pilots lead this one 2-1 here in the bottom of the third inning. The 1-0 pitch is fouled straight back and out of play, and the count will even at 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. And the pitch to him is popped up and out of play for another souvenir here at Mulcahy Stadium as the count will move to 1-2. Sun just beginning to set here as it is around 11:28 Alaskan Standard Time as the 1-2 pitch misses for ball. 2-2 is the count. The pitch swung on and missed for strike 3. So Otino is down on strikes as George Mendozona steps up to the plate. Mendozano out of Oregon State, a Redmond, Oregon native. First pitch to him, swings and fouls it out of play for strike 1. No balls, 1 strike, 2 outs here in the bottom of the third inning. White kicks and deals the 0-1, and that will be fouled out of play again. And the count will go into White's favor at 0-2. White shakes the first one off, gets the second one he likes. The 0-1 pitch misses high for ball 1. 1-1's the count. 2 outs here in the bottom half of the third inning. Again, we apologize for the technical difficulties that we had this day as the 1-2 pitch is popped into left field. Justin Kirby retreating, making the catch for out number 3. So 3 up, 3 down for the Pilots as we've been through 3 innings, and the Pilots will lead this one 2-1. And we're in the top of the fourth inning. Pilots lead the Miners 2-1 in this ball game, going in the top of the fourth inning. As Cotton Game still on the mound for the Pilots. Cody Huff to lead things off. 6, 7, 8 due up for the Miners in this inning. Cody Huff steps in the batter's box as we get the top of the fourth inning underway here at Mulcahy Stadium. The first offering to Huff is lined into left center field. That should be trouble as that gets down. Huff wants two. The throw to second will not be in time, and Huff is in with a stand-up double to lead things off in this inning. As Ricky Martinez to follow. Huff at second, and the Miners look to tie this ball game up here in the top of the fourth inning. Cotton Game shakes off the first pitch. Gets one he likes. Ready at the belt. The first pitch to Martinez is in there for a called strike one. He looks at the umpire saying, where was that one? But the umpire will say strike one to him, and the count goes to 0-1. Huff gets his lead at second. Cotton Game kicks and deals the 0-1 pitch is fouled straight back into the catcher's mask. And the count will move to 0-2. Zach Morgan looks to be okay behind the plate as that ball was lined straight into his face mask. A little shaken up, but appears to be all good. No balls, 2 strikes, no outs to Martinez. Huff has his lead at second. Cotton Game looks over and kicks and deals the 0-2. That's lined into center field, but under it is Collicton as he'll make the catch for out number 1. And Huff is stuck at second with 1 out now. Bringing up to the plate, Matt Palmer. Other action in the ABL tonight, the Peninsula Oilers snapped their losing streak as they beat the Chuyak Eagle River Chinooks 6-5. As the first pitch to Palmer misses for a ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes, 1 out with Cody Huff at second. Palmer at the plate, the 1-0 pitch to him is fouled out of play, and the count will even at 1-1. So we have 1s on the board here at Mulcahy Stadium. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. With Matt Palmer at the plate, Huff taking his lead at second. The 1-1 pitch is lined out of play, and the count will go to 1-2. Reminder, the Miners lost Game 1 5-2 to the Pilots. As Cotton Game ready at the belt on the pitcher's mound. The 1-2 pitch to Palmer is lined into left field. If that could stay fair, and it will just go foul. A good looping line drive into left field right down the first baseline as it just misses fair territory and will go foul, and the count will remain 1-2. Runner on second, 1 out, 1-2 count to Matt Palmer at the plate. Cotton Game looks at Huff. The 1-2 pitch is swung on and missed for strike 3. So Palmer is down on strikes for the second out of the inning. And that will bring up number 9, Tyler Porter. Porter out of Tucson, Arizona, a Long Beach State player for his collegiate career. The first pitch to him is in there for a called strike one. Bats 195 in his previous season at Long Beach State. Currently bats 200 for the Miners as he falls behind the count 0-1. The 0-1 pitch to him. In the dirt for ball one. Huff will stay put at second. Not far enough to get him to steal third on the pass ball or wild pitch as the count will go to 1-1. Pilots lead this one 2-1 here in the top of the fourth inning. The 1-1 pitch misses outside for ball two. 2-1's the count now. And a reminder, in double header ABL action, both games will be 7 innings apiece. So this game will go to 7, and if still tied, will go then to extra innings as the 2-1 pitch is fouled out of play, and the count will go to 2-2 as we have twos on the board now with 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs as the Pilots have 1 run on 4 hits and 1 error. The Pilots have 2 runs on 2 hits and 0 errors, and the Miners will have 1 run on 4 hits and 1 error. As Cotton game ready at the belt, the 2-2 pitch is fouled out of play, and the count will remain 2-2. ABL standings after the 2 games were finalized tonight so far. Anchorage Bucks and Matsu Miners are tied for first place. The Pilots are now a game and a half back to the Miners and Bucks. The Oilers are now 4 games back from first, and the Chinooks are 4.5 games back for first place. The 2-2 pitch misses outside for ball 3, and obviously after this ball game, the standings will shake up depending on who wins and who loses this one. Still a lot of baseball left to play, though. A full count to Tyler Porter at the plate. 2 outs and the pitch. Line straight back, and the count will remain full. Three balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Cody Huff at second. He takes his lead. The payoff pitch. Checked his swing. Did he go? The umpire says he didn't, and Tyler Porter will take first base. As both pitcher and catcher in that situation thought it shouldn't have even gone to a check swing. They thought that was strike 3 no matter what. But the third base umpire says he did not go around, and that'll be ball 4 as Tyler Porter will take first and Cody Huff still at second. Bringing up top of the lineup, number 2, Eric Webb. He now has runners on first and second. As the count is 0-1. The 0-1 pitch is pops up. Second baseman Siegel is under it, and he'll make the catch for out number 3. So the Miners will leave 2 on here on 1 hit. No errors and no runs come across. As we go to the bottom half of the 4th inning, the Miners trail the Pilots 2-1. here we are in the bottom half of the fourth inning. The Pilots are leading the Miners 2-1. White on the mound as he has 3 innings of work so far with 2 runs on 2 hits as he gets ahead in the count now with no balls, 1 strike to number 13, Zach Morgan up at the plate. 4, 5, and 6 due up for the Pilots in this inning as he falls behind 0-2. White shakes off the first sign from the catcher. The 0-2 pitch is swung on and missed for strike 3. Good night to Zach Morgan on those 3 pitches. As now number 36, Knitting, is up at the plate.
A great job there by Brandon White of mixing his speeds. Got him with the breaking ball, and that second strike. Morgan was about a second and a half out in front of it, and then on 0-2, just blow the fastball right by him. Aggressive pitching there by White to just go after the cleanup hitter. No nonsense. 3-pitch strikeout.
First pitch to Knitting is in there for strike 1, so White moving fast this inning with 4 straight strikes as he gets Knitting ahead in the count 0-1. Knitting shows bunt, pulls it back though, and the 0-1 pitch will miss for ball 1. 1-1's the count. Knitting batting 138 on the year. Knitting, excuse me. As he's batting 138 of the year, steps into the left-hander's batter's box. White with the 1-1 pitch. Thought about going, pulls it back though, and the count will go to 2-1. And the 2-1 pitch is in there for a called strike 2, and the count will even up at 2-2. As White, through 3 1/3 innings, has a 39-17 strike to ball ratio, as he has an even count 2-2, and the 2-2 pitch misses inside, but Huff thought that would be strike 3 as he looks to throw it around, but umpire says ball 3 and the count will go full. White ready though. The payoff pitch is grounded to first baseman Drew Williamson. He calls off White and will step on first base for out number 2.
And you can see a little anger and frustration on the mound here for Brandon White as he's really going after the heart of this Glacier Pilot order here in the bottom of the 4th. The Miners down. You can see that sort of added aggression as they're looking to avoid the sweep here in this doubleheader.
First pitch from White in there for strike 1. No balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. To Zach Siegel. The 0-1 pitch misses in the dirt for ball 1. 1-1's the count, 2 outs here in the bottom half of the 4th inning. The 1-1 pitch misses outside. 2-1's the count now with 2 outs here in the bottom half of the 4th inning. As Siegel is batting .214 on the year. 0 for 1 on the night. And the 2-1 pitch will be fouled. And the count will even up at 2-2 with 2 outs here in the bottom half of the 4th inning. The 2-2 pitch from White. Lined off the dugout down the first base line, and the count will remain 2-2. The 2-2 pitch from White. In there for a called strike 3. Ring him up. And that will be your inning in the bottom half of the 4th inning. 3 up, 3 down for the Pilots on 0 hits, 0 left on, and 0 errors. As we go to the top of the 5th inning, Miners trail 2-1. looking to get things going here in the top of the fifth inning as he leads things up. As Cotton Game is still on the mound and looks to deliver the first pitch of the fifth inning. Kirby grounds that through the infield as that goes in between the third baseman and shortstop as he'll be in for a single to start things off as he goes 2 for 3 on the ball game. That'll bring up number 15, Aaron Walters, to the plate. Tanner Carlson is on deck with Drew Williamson in the hole as Kirby gets a leadoff single here. The first pitch to Walters is in there for a called strike one. No balls, one strike, no outs. Justin Kirby at first and Aaron Walters at the plate. The 0-1 pitch to Walters is popped up and out of play, and the count will go to 0-2. Cotton Game so far on the season at 2.00 ERA on 9 innings pitched. 11 strikeouts as he has 4 complete innings so far in this ballgame. The 0-2 pitch misses for ball 1. 1-2 is the count. No outs here in the top of the fifth inning. Miners have the day off tomorrow, but on Monday they will be back here at Mulcahy Stadium against the Bucks for a 7 o'clock first pitch. The 1-2 pitch is lined into left field as Kirby will hold up at second and Walters will take first as we have a little rally here to get the top of the fifth going. Tanner Carlson now up to the plate. Kirby at second. Walters at first. As the Miners are threatening to score here. Cotton Game ready at the belt. The first pitch to Carlson. He shows bunt. He gets that down to the catcher. The catcher will look to throw to third. Will pull it back and throw to first in time for out number 1. But the runners will advance to second and third on that play.
Way to do your job there for Tanner Carlson. A good bunt right in front of the plate. Morgan thought about going to third with it, but hesitated and then threw over to first for the sacrifice. But now 2 men in scoring position with 1 out. Drew Williamson coming up.
Williamson up at the plate. Walters at second. Kirby at third. 1 out in the top of the fifth inning. The pitch to Williamson is in there for a called strike one. Cotton Game, the 0-1 pitch. Swung on and missed for strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out here in the top of the fifth inning. As the Miners are looking with runners in scoring position for the second straight inning with 1 out. As last inning they left a man on second. The 0-2 pitch misses high for ball 1. Williamson at the plate. A 1-2 count. Cotton Game ready. The pitch misses outside for ball 1. For ball 2, excuse me. 2-2 is the count. It evens up. Two balls, 2 strikes, 1 out here in the top of the fifth inning on this midnight sun game. The 2-2 pitch swung on and missed for strike 3. So Williamson will go down on strikes, and that will bring up Cody Huff. Cody Huff will to bring the runs in here now with 2 outs and runners on second and third. The first pitch to him is inside for a ball 1-0 is the count. 2 outs here in the top of the 5th inning. Runners on second and third. The Pilots lead the Miners 2-1. The Miners, though, have out-hit the Pilots 6-2, but unable to score with runners in scoring position as the 1-0 pitch is popped up down the first base line. First baseman retreats, but unable to make the catch as Carlson will get another opportunity here. Excuse me, that's Cody Huff is at the plate. Excuse me on that one. As Huff will get another opportunity here at a 1-1 count. 2 outs in the top of the 5th inning. Huff ready at the plate. The 1-1 pitch is swung on and missed for strike 2. So Huff now with the 2-strike approach as he gets ready for the 1-2 pitch from Cotton Game. Will Cotton Game get out of this inning, or will the Miners figure out a way to score here with the 1-2 pitch is lined out of play and the count will remain 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. To Cody Huff at the plate. A lefty on righty. As the 1-2 pitch is kicked and dealed by Cotton Game, the pitch is swung on and fouled off of Huff's shoe, and it will go into play, but it will be a foul ball, and the count will remain 1-2. Walters at second, Justin Kirby at first. Both went back-to-back to lead things off in this inning with back-to-back singles. With a bunt to move them over, the Miners have not been able to get them to score with the 1-2 pitch. Is grounded to second baseman. He'll dive, not able to make the catch. 1 run will score, though, as Aaron Walters holds up at third, and the Miners will tie this ball game up. So a tricky ground ball there. And Zach Siegel unable to make the play at second, as it was a tough diving catch, but able to keep it in front of him, possibly preventing another run from scoring. As Huff will take first on the single, Walters will move to third, and Kirby will score as the first pitch, swinging from Ricky Martinez, lined in the center field, will be caught for out number 3. So the Miners will leave 2 on base on 3 hits, no errors, as the Miners score 1. As we go to the bottom half of the 5th inning, we have a tie ball game here at Mulcahy Stadium at 2-2. All right. Ready to go now? And here we are in the bottom half of the fifth inning. White on the mound for the Miners as he gets a 2-0 count. Now 2-1 count to Garrett Spain at the plate. 7, 8, 9 hitters due up for the Pilots as the Miners were able to get one across in the top of the fifth inning as they tied the ball game up at 2-2 as the count now moves to 2-2. Spain at the plate. 0 for 0 tonight. Let's see. As he got on via a base on balls. As the count moves to 3-2. The payoff pitch to Spain misses outside for ball 4, and Spain will take first base. E.J. Andrews now at the plate for the Pilots. Spain now at first. Andrews at the plate. White on the mound. As it appears that the Miners are to warm up the bullpen here. As Spain takes his lead off of first. As Spain thought about going, will head back to first. As Andrews swings and misses for strike 1. 0-1's the count. No outs here in the bottom of the fifth inning. We have a tie ball game in this midnight sun game at 2 apiece. White ready. The 0-1 pitch. Checked his swing. First base umpire says he didn't go around. And the count leaving up at 1-1. E.J. Andrews 1 for 1 tonight. As he is batting .205 on the season. As he steps in. White throws back to first. Not in time. As Spain gets back with plenty of time. And the count is still even at 1-1. White toes the mound. Looks and gets his sign. Appears to have what he wants. Looks back over at Spain at first. Will throw back over. And Spain will get back in plenty of time. 1 ball, 1 strike, no outs. E.J. Andrews at the plate. And he gets ready for the 1-1 pitch. White looks over at first. And he'll kick and deal the 1-1. In there for a called strike 2. 1-2's the count to E.J. Andrews. One ball, 2 strikes. 1-2 pitch. Called strike 3, and E.J. Andrews is down on strikes, and he'll go 1 for 2 on the night as we bring up number 3. Dalen Collectin up at the plate as there's now 1 out and a man on first. Collectin ready at the plate. White toes the mound, looks to get his sign. Looks over at Spain at first. Collects himself. The first pitch, Spain is going. A ground ball foul. And so Spain will have to head back to first as the count will move to 0-1. No balls, 1 strike, 1 out here in the bottom of the fifth inning. A tie ball game at 2-2. White will look over at Spain at first. We'll see if Spain's going on this pitch. And he will hold up. And the 0-1 pitch is fouled out of play, and the count will move to 0-2. Collectin batting .275 on the year. has 5 RBIs for the Pilots. As he steps in the batter's box, the 0-2 pitch misses high for ball 1. 1-2's the count, 1 out in the bottom half of the 5th inning. Spain takes his lead at first. White ready, looks over at first. Collects himself, gets his sign, the 1-2 pitch, Spain goes. And Collecton will foul it straight back. And so Spain will have to head back to first for the second time on the night. And the count will remain 1-2. I want to apologize again for any technical difficulties that we have that has occurred tonight. The 1-2 pitch might be thrown and will be thrown to first, as Spain will get back in time, as he has tried to steal 2 times but have gone back to first because of a foul ball. Spain takes his lead. The 1-2 pitch is in there for a called strike 3. Ring him up, as White will now have 2 outs on the inning. Bringing up the top of the lineup, number 8, Malcolm Tipler. As there appears to be a little fan club for Drew Williamson here tonight, as they start to chant his name and he gives him the recognition. As with 2 outs, Spain at first, Tipler at the plate. And he'll look at the first pitch go right by him for a called strike 1. Sun beginning to set now as it's just past midnight here in Anchorage. Still pretty bright out in this Alaska, which is the Alaska norm. The 0-1 pitch is fouled, and the count will go to 0-2. Tipler batting .243 on the year, is 1 for 2 tonight. And on the season, he has 1 home run with 4 RBIs as he runs the count 0-2. White on the mound. Shakes the first one off, gets the second one he likes. The 0-2 pitch swung on and missed for strike 3. So good morning, good afternoon, and good night to Malcolm Tipler at the plate, as White will strike out the side to end the bottom of the 5th inning. As we go to the top of the 6th inning, we have a tie ball game, and I'm throwing it back over to Brandon Monty for the final 2 innings of play, as we have a tie ball game at 2 apiece.
Welcome back, Matsu Miners fans, to the top half of inning number 6. Brandon Monty alongside Nick Veland. Happy as always to be broadcasting Matsu Miners baseball for you all season long. Matt Palmer leading things off for the Miners here in the top half of inning number 6, still tied at 2. First pitch to him is fouled off the catcher, Zach Morgan. I think that got his hand there as he shakes it off and does a little walk outside the plate to recollect. So 0-1 now the count for Matt Palmer, who digs in 2 for 13 on the season with 2 RBIs. Going up against the new pitcher, number 32, Hunter Rigsby, also by way of the University of Kentucky, like starter Braxton Cottongame, whose night is over after 5 innings of 2-run, 2-hit ball. The 0-1 pitch to Palmer is fouled hard to the right side, and that one will be out of play. So the Palmer, Alaska native down in the count now 0-2. Hunter Rigsby coming in relief. This is his 6th appearance on the year, a 0.69 ERA. 1 win on the year, no losses, 1 save, 17 strikeouts as the 0-2 pitch to Palmer misses in the dirt for ball 1. So 1-2 now our count. 13 innings pitched on the year for Hunter Rigsby. Matt Palmer 1 for 2 on the night. He had an RBI single in game 1 of the doubleheader and a hit again here in game 2. Digs back in, trying to start a rally here for the Miners in the 6th. The 1-2 pitch is a breaking ball that's waved at and missed for strike 3. Palmer ran it out like it was a drop third, but the umpire says Morgan caught it, so a 4-pitch strikeout for Palmer to start the Miners half of the 6th. And number 9 hitter Tyler Porter stepping back up to the plate. So Rigsby picks up another strikeout. He leads the Anchorage Glacier Pilot pitching staff with 18 punch-outs now on the season. Tyler Porter steps back into the left-handed batter's box. The number 9 hitting second baseman ready. First pitch from Rigsby from the stretch is a fastball that is in there on the outside corner for a called strike 1. 2-2 ball game here. 2 runs, 7 hits, and 1 error for the Miners. 2 runs, 2 hits, and no errors for the Pilots as the 0-1 pitch to Tyler Porter, a breaking ball that misses in the dirt and inside for ball 1. Once across the board, 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, nobody on base. Tyler Porter 5 for 23 at the dish on the year, good as a .217 hitter, 4 RBIs. Rigsby from the stretch, the 1-1 on its way, waved at and missed, and Rigsby throwing darts out of the pen here for the Pilots as he's got that breaking ball in fastball combo working here. Rigsby, a power pitcher, fastball hitting at about the low to mid-90s, and a good curveball that's had these hitters off balance for the Miners thus far as the 1-2 pitch to Porter, a fastball that misses just a bit outside and in the dirt for ball number 2. Eric Webb, the top of the order for the Miners, waiting in the on-deck circle. Justin Kirby will follow him. It's a 2-2 count, 1 out, nobody on. Porter back up at the dish. Second baseman Malcolm Tipler playing in the shallow outfield grass as the 2-2 to Porter, a breaking ball that's chopped foul over towards the Anchorage Glacier Pilot dugout over at first. So we'll do it again, 2-2. No action going on in either bullpen here. Brandon White has gone 5 innings for the Miners. We'll see if he comes back out for the bottom of the 6th. But in the meanwhile, the Valley's finest looking to take the lead here as their backs look to get something going. Porter gets his sign, and the 2-2 pitch is a called strike 3 on the outside corner. Good placement there by Rigsby with the fastball as he set down the first too many faced on strike here in the top half of inning number 6. So nobody on, 2 down, and the leadoff man, Eric Webb, coming back up. Hunter Rigsby has 9 hits allowed on the year, 2 runs, 1 of which was earned. Again, it's his 6th appearance on this 2019 campaign. Has been one of the more effective relievers in the ABL as the first pitch to Webb, a breaking ball in the dirt, but he chased it as he swung and missed, and the ball got to the backstop past catcher Zach Morgan for strike 1. Still a pretty good crowd here in attendance as we pass the midnight point in Alaska Standard Time. Webb now 1 for 3 on the night, 16 for 43 on the season with an ABL leading 15 RBIs. Looks to start a two-out rally here for the Miners. He digs in. The 0-1 pitch from Rigsby, a breaking ball that just misses on the inside corner. Morgan tried to frame it, but no dice as Rigsby takes a quick walk off the mound there. Didn't look like he was too pleased with that call. So we're even 1-1. 12 pitches so far in the inning for the right-hander from the University of Kentucky, 8 of which have been strikes. He's had good command of the zone here. 1-1 pitch is on its way to Webb, and it's a breaking ball that's sliced foul to the right side, and that one will get out of play across the street. Remember, folks, the foul ball can do some serious damage to your car. You can always visit the folks at the Valley's locally owned and operated Napa Auto Parts. They're in Big Lake, Palmer, and Wasilla. Visit www.napaalaska.com for more information. We thank you again to all folks who are still listening for tuning in. We apologize for the lack of a video stream. We've had some technical difficulties here at Mulcahy Stadium. We hope to have those fixed in the very near future as the 1-2 on its way to Webb is tipped into the catcher's mitt for strike 3. So Hunter Rigsby comes in and strikes out the side in the top half of the 6th and holds the Miners at bay. We're going to the bottom half of inning number 6 here at Mulcahy with the Miners and Glacier Pilots tied 2-2. Looks like we're going to have a down-to-the-wire contest here at Mulcahy Stadium in Game 2 of this doubleheader in the Midnight Sun game as the Miners and the Glacier Pilots are tied at 2, bottom of the 6th. Brandon White back out on the mound for the Miners, facing off against the shortstop Matt Otino as the first pitch to him misses in the dirt for ball 1, as that's how the bottom of the 6th will kick off. Brandon White working quickly back into his windup. The 1-0 pitch is hit high in the air out to right field. Palmer is retreating to his left, and this one is going to be off the wall in the right field corner. It just misses a home run as Matt Otino trots in with a standing double. His first hit of the night. It nearly got out of here out towards the 325 marker. So Otino trots into second, as the Pilots now have a runner in scoring position to lead off the bottom half of inning number 6. As we'll see if Brandon White can try to hang on here and keep this game tied. Entering the top half of inning number 7. It looks like someone is starting to get loose out in the Miners bullpen, a right-hander over in the left field corner, as the number 3 hitter for the Glacier Pilots steps into the box. A left-handed hitter. It'll be George Mendozano as he pops one up out towards shallow left field. Retreating is Ricky Martinez. Left fielder Kirby calls him off and makes the catch for out number 1. So a big out there for White as Otino unable to advance to third base on the shortly hit pop-up out towards shallow left. And coming into the box is the cleanup hitter and the most dangerous hitter in this Glacier Pilot lineup, Zach Morgan. So Mendozano retired. He's now 0 for 4, and Zach Morgan comes back up to the dish. Brandon White has now thrown 86 pitches in 5 1/3 innings of work. As Morgan steps in, righty-on-righty matchup, runner at second with 1 down. Still a 2-2 tie. White working from the stretch comes set. First pitch to Morgan is swung on and missed. Fastball blown right by him there for the first strike of the at-bat. Bradley Knighting waiting in the on-deck circle with Zach Segal to follow. as the Miners look to work their way out of trouble here and give themselves a chance to take the lead in the seventh and final inning. 2 runs, 7 hits, 1 error for the Miners in this one. 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors for the Anchorage Glacier Pilots, who enter this game a game and a half back of the Miners for first place in the Alaska Baseball League standings, as Ricky Martinez goes over to second on a pickoff attempt, and Brandon White doesn't throw over, and now he steps off and takes a quick time here. Still 0-1 in the count with 1 down and a runner in scoring position. This will be pitch number 88 for Brandon White. Zach Morgan, 0 for 2 on the night. A .314 hitter coming in, 2 dingers, 8 RBI. The 0-1 pitch to him. Again, swung on this time, tipped off the catcher, Cody Huff, and it looked like it got his right hand there as he's shaking his throwing hand as he rubs that one off quickly. And 0-2, now the count. So Huff right back, appears to be okay after taking a hard line drive right off the fifth. As he's ready and gives his sign to Brandon White, the 6'8", 200-pound right-hander leans in, and he gives Cody Huff the nod. He's got what he likes as he comes set. Checks the runner at second. Ottino gets his lead. The 0-2 on its way is chopped back to the mound. Good reaction there by White. Checks Ottino at second. Throws over to first for the out. A good reaction there by Brandon White. Nice job fielding at your position.
And that's just good awareness by him. He realized right off the bat that the lead runner is the most important runner in this situation. After catching the ball, went straight to third to make sure he wasn't going to there, and then threw to first when he knew it was safe to throw it there. So great awareness by White there.
Bradley Knighting digs in, the 5th hitter for this Glacier Pilot squad. Playing first base here in game number 2. Ottino gets his lead. First pitch to Knighting, paints the inside corner with the fastball for a called strike 1. 90 pitches now on the night for Brandon White, certainly getting his money's worth on the mound. Another quality start for him here as he looks to work his way out of trouble in the 6th. As the 0-1 pitch is on the way, and it's lined back up the middle by Knighting, a base hit. Ottino rounds third, and he is headed home. He will score without a throw, and the Glacier Pilots take a 1-run lead in the bottom half of inning number 6 on an RBI single from Bradley Knighting. So Knighting comes through in the clutch with 2 down, as the leadoff double does not go to waste for the Glacier Pilots, and now manager Tyler LeBrun strutting out to the mound, and it looks like a pitching change will be made here as we'll see a reliever try to get the final out of the inning for the Miners. A solid outing for Brandon White, but the Pilots now lead it 3-2 in the bottom half of inning number 6. The Miners will have one more opportunity in the top of the 7th, but right now the Miners need to focus on getting that last player out in this bottom half of the 6th. The right-hander's coming in. We'll tell you who it is after this short break. In beautiful Anchorage, Alaska, as there's a new hurler on the mound for the Matsu Miners with one out to go here in the bottom half of inning number 6. It'll be right-hander Owen Lamont. Lamont, a 6'3", 210-pound righty who just finished his sophomore year with the Georgetown Hoyas. Lamont making his ABL leading 8th appearance out of the pen this season. He has no decisions, a 2.35 ERA in 7 2/3 innings of work. Opponents hitting .250 against him, 10 hits allowed, 3 runs, 2 of which are earned, 10 punch-outs, 3 walks, as Lamont looks to play the role of damage control here and get the Miners out of a jam and limit the Pilots scoring to just 1 here in the home half of the 6th. Zach Segal digs in as the freshman from Stanford takes a called strike 1 on a fastball on the outside corner. 0-1 now the count. Lamont has allowed 3 runs in his last 2 outings after holding his opponent scoreless through his first 5, so looking to get back on track here as he comes set as the 0-1 pitch, a fastball that just misses off the outside part of the plate, 1-1. Lamont, a power pitcher with a strong delivery to the plate. A good strikeout pitcher, 10 of them through 7 2/3, as mentioned. Bradley Knighting gets his lead from first. Segal digs back in. Knighting goes. The 1-1 is grounded over to short. Martinez is up with it. Throws over to Williamson at first. Side retired. Chalk it up as 6-3 on the ground out. As the Pilots get 1 in the bottom of the 6th. We're through 6 here. 3-2. Pilots lead it. Miners coming to bat in the top of the 7th. They've got one more shot to tie the game or take the lead against reliever Hunter Rigsby. One last chance for the Matsu Miners here in the top of the 7th as they try once again for some late inning magic against the Anchorage Glacier Pilots. The 2, 3, and 4 coming up for Tyler LeBrun's Miners as Justin Kirby is set to lead things off. Digging into the right-handed batter's box, Hunter Rigsby back out on the mound. He struck out the side in the 6th as the first pitch to Kirby, a fastball that misses in the dirt and gets away from catcher Zach Morgan to the backstop. So ball 1. Kirby, the reigning Mid-American Conference Freshman of the Year at Kent State. He's 2 for 3 on the night as he doubled in a run back in the first as the 1-0 pitch is fouled off to the right side out of play. Remember, folks, the foul ball can do some serious damage to your car. You can always visit the fine folks at the Valley's locally owned and operated Napa Auto Parts. They're in Big Lake, Palmer, and Wasilla. Visit www.napaalaska.com for more information. Miners looking to get something going against Hunter Rigsby, who has looked very strong in relief tonight as the 1-1 pitch, a fastball that paints the outside corner for a called strike 2. If the Miners drop this game, the Anchorage Bucks will retake sole possession of first place in the Alaska Baseball League by a half a game. As Rigsby's ready, the 1-2 on its way is hit high in the air. A pop-up on the infield first base side. Bradley Knighting camps underneath it and makes the catch for out number 1. So the Miners down to their final 2 outs here as they look to make some noise with 1 down with Aaron Walters coming to the plate. Hunter Rigsby, 13 strikes out of 18 pitches out of the pen as Walters digs in. It'll be a right-handed pitcher going up against the left-handed hitting Walters here. Still a pretty good crowd on attendance here. We just hit 12:30 Alaska Standard Time as the first pitch to Walters is a fastball that misses below the knees and pops out of catcher Zach Morgan's glove for ball one. Aaron Walters already has one game-winning hit this week, and he'll look to start a rally here in the last inning. 3-2 the score. 1-0 pitch to Walters, a breaking ball that misses inside and nearly nicks him for ball two. Walters 1 for 2 on the night, 7 for 34 on the season, good for a .205 average with 5 RBIs. Tanner Carlson awaits in the on-deck circle, and Drew Williamson is set to follow him. Rigsby now working from the stretch, and the pitch is grounded to second. Charging it is Tipler, and he flips over to first for out number 2, and the Miners are down to their final out. So Kirby and Walters retired here in the top of the 7th. One last chance for the Miners here as Tanner Carlson digs into the box. Carlson, the Elk Grove, California native, getting the nod at third base here in Game 2 of this doubleheader. Got the first game off. Third baseman Mendozona hugging the line as the first pitch to Carlson, a fastball that again pops out of Morgan's mitt. He's had some trouble corralling the ball here in the inning. So ball one here, nobody on. Miners down 1 with 2 down. They'll need some late game heroics here from Carlson if they want to stay alive in this ball game. 1-0 on the way. Fastball in there this time at the letters on the outside corner for a called strike one. Carlson 0 for 3 on the night. Looking to change that here. Hunter Rigsby set to throw his 23rd pitch. Quickly gives the nod to his catcher, Zach Morgan. He's got what he likes. The 1-1 on its way is popped foul to the right side out of play, and the Miners are down to their final strike. Miners are looking to avoid dropping to 10-7 as the Glacier Pilot fans that have stuck around are on their feet here at Mulcahy Stadium as the Pilots look to sweep this doubleheader. 1-2 on the way. Grounded over towards third. Up with it, Mendozono throws across the diamond to first, and the ball game is over. The Anchorage Glacier Pilots sweep a doubleheader with the Matsu Miners here at Mulcahy Stadium. The Pilots improve to 8-6 and pull within a half game of the Matsu Miners for second place now in the ABL. The Anchorage Bucks are now in sole possession of first in the Alaska Baseball League standings. The Miners drop to 10-7, and the Glacier Pilots improve to 8-6. Again, our final, the Matsu Miners drop Game 2 to the Pilots 3-2. Alongside Nick Veland, this has been Brandon Monty. Thank you all for tuning in to Matsu Miners Baseball. The Valley's finest have the day off tomorrow before coming back here on Monday to face the Bucks. You can stream that one. We'll hope to have the technical difficulties resolved by then. Until next time, this has been Brandon Monty saying so long from Mulcahy Stadium.